Welcome to my cricket dreams. In this video, we can look at the top 5 most memorable 1999 World Cup moments between Australia and South Africa. So let's get started. 16 years is quite a long time to remember anything. But the visuals of the second semi-final of the 1999 World Cup are engraved in the minds of countless cricket fans and viewers around the globe. A match that is etched into the hearts of history books as arguably one of the most greatest games in ODI cricket that the world has ever seen. Many great careers have come and gone. A whole new format has come into existence and revolutionized the game. Yet, every youngster who is growing up watching the modern day cricket will tell you exactly about what transpired the cricket on June 17, 1999 at Edgbaston, Birmingham. Here's a look at the top 5 most unforgettable moments from the Australia-South Africa clash in the 1999 World Cup. Number 1. Michael Bevan's gritty knock. Michael Bevan is considered as the best finisher for Australia. Australia were tottering at 68 for 4 at the end of 17th over when Michael Bevan walked to join the skipper Steve Waugh. With Arnold Donald and Sean Pollock at the devastating touch on a Birmingham track that offered pace, swing, movement and everything, Bevan lowered through the middle orders as he rotated the strike in between the odd boundary. The run rate of Australia was moving at a snail's pace and Bevan found it extremely difficult to pace his innings. However, he did not throw his wicket away in frustration, which is smart, knowing that things would get easier as the innings went on. He was on 31 from 69 when Waugh and Tom Moody departed in the 14th over. The onus was then on set with him to the fore and give his team something to defend. Having had numerous experiences of batting in such a situation, he brought calmness to the Australian innings during the death overs as he put on vital partnerships with the bowlers. He took smart singles and quick twos without letting the South Africans bowlers getting on top. Bevan eventually ended up with 65 of 101 balls with a final flourish in the 50th over, helping Australia cross the 200-run mark. While he was liable for a fall considering the differences in the number of runs and the number of balls he has faced, his knock was widely lauded as it was perfectly apt for the situation and the conditions in that pitch. And number 2, Shane Warne's heroics with the ball. Chasing 214 in their quest to seal a World Cup final berth, South Africa's tragedy up front was a plain and simple. Two brilliant opening batsmen, Gary Kristen and Herschelle Gibbs, took a cautious approach to nullify the formidable Australian pace attack and got the Proteas off to a solid start. With 43 runs on the board from the first 10 overs, the first power play, however, it was time for Shane Warne, the magical spinner, to unleash his magic. Of just the second ball of his second over, Warne produced a moment of magic, which was reminiscent of the ball of the century to get rid of Gibbs. In his very next over, he sent both Kristen and captain Hansie Crouch back to the pavilion, giving him a spellblinding figures of 3 for 2. He eventually finished his spell with figures of 4 for 29, the other wickets being that of Danger Jackalis from his 10 overs in what was one of the greatest displays of spin bowling in World Cup history. He knew that he had to produce something spectacular and sparkling to rekindle the Australian hopes, and he truly did that only. Only a champion bowler with his aura could do anything of this kind. And number 3, Closener's flamboyant cameo. If it was Shane Warne who turned the match in Australia's favour after the wicket of Jackalis, the stage was set for the undisputable man of 1999 World Cup to come with a four with everything at stake. A final at Lord's was at stake, and with Lance Klusener at the crease, the match was peaking to be more intense and more vital than it was ever before. It was a time when things were heading to an NAC physiological state with pressure being mounted on every ball. Australian bowlers were taking wickets at decisive moments and Klusner was negating the treat by scoring boundaries. He summoned the natural belligerent intent to acquiring boundaries with power and aggression, and bat in his hands resembled like that of an executor's axe. Klusner had to assume the role of a finisher to scuff his team to the finishing line. 38 runs of 30 balls, 18 of 12 and 9 from 6. Klusner put South Africa on the brink of history with a flamboyant cameo going into the final over. And number 4, the missed run-out chance. 6 balls, 9 to win. Pressure everywhere. Klusner took over Damien Fleming with a message of unbelievable and exuding an authoritative intent. He stepped back and blasted the bowler to consecutive boundaries, levelling the score with only 1 run required from 4 balls. And the third ball was beginning of all the drama that followed on to be remembered for the years and for the generations in the cricketing history. Klusner wound up for yet another slog, but only managed to get the bottom edge of the bat, where the ball rolled towards Darren Lehman at mid-on. He had his feet glued at the crease, but Alan Donald at the non-striker end, having a rush of blood, was backing too far. Lehman underarmed the throw to the stumps of what seemed to be a missing by a mile distance. Donald's desperate slide didn't even make him reach to the crease, even when the ball passed the missing stumps. Australians were going in disbelief. Donald survived. Panic started to surface around. At number 5 and the last one is the most dramatic run out in the cricketing history. 1 run needed of 3 balls. All South Africans was required a legitimate run to seal their place in the World Cup final. But when panic creeps in, it distorts even a man who got the ability in owning a nerve of steel temperament. When Lance Klusner unconvincingly thumped the ball straight without much power, Alan Donald dropped his bat in the mix-up, more so in moment of tension, to complete a run and kept running towards the striker's crease that was too far by a finishing line. Markover picked the ball at a long on and fired it to Damien Fleming. Grasping the situation and opportunity that was there for the taking, Fleming gently railed to Adam Gilchrist, who did not rest erupting out the Australia's wildest celebrations in a World Cup match. A match that was supposed to be in South Africa's moment of glory was wrapped up and gifted to Australia with a final suicidal strike. Donald Klusner's complete breakdown of communication resulting into a woeful mishap was a tragic suicidal attack, portraying a touch of comedy to be the whole situation of how exactly it got unfolded. Their nerves started to soak in bed when it was the most important situations in their lives. Minds spun in a dilemma whether to run or not run. Tension became apparent and their actions rendered a brain-fading act that would possibly can be replicated ever again on the cricketing field. This such fame of Donald's dropping the bat in the middle of the pitch, Klusner tiresomely running towards the pavilion, and the burst of jubilance among the Australian players is something that anyone with even a smidgen of knowledge of cricket would remember it when asked about the greatest game to be ever played in an ODI history. And such an act also cost South Africa very much, as South Africa, even being a dominant team, having the likes of A.B. de Villiers and many more, they have not qualified for a final in the World Cups. Their last time they have reached a semi-final was in the 2015 World Cup, but were defeated by the New Zealand, the Black Caps, in their own home soil. Thank you friends for watching my channel. Kindly like, subscribe and comment, and for more notifications of the world cricket, kindly subscribe channel, and also kindly like, share and comment the video. Thank you.